I'm Jonathan, and welcome to my channel, Jonathan's Diamond Painting and Stuff. So today I'm continuing my Familon series of chats, where I give you a bit of the progress update on my Home is Where the Magic Is for the hashtag Familon UK event. As always, go to the DAC Fans UK Facebook group for more information. But this event is halfway through now. You can still join, but you have to be a member of the DAC Fans UK Facebook group. But really, I'm just now giving you an update to my progress and how things have gone in the previous week, and then just having a little bit of chat as well of what's going on with me. Okay, so before I do any of that, I'm just going to give you a little bit of the pan of the image, just so you can see a bit closer, and then obviously get that distant view, which gives it a really good viewpoint, and then we'll have a little chat. Okay. Okay, before I zoom in the camera and I get to working on a little bit of this and I turn the light board on, I'll just give a quick overview of the last week. I believe I was somewhere like this, I think, last week, but I can't actually remember completely. I've had a bit of a bad week. I've not made as much progress as I wanted to, because normally I try and do a section a week. Just let me turn my watch alarm off. Sorry, sound off. Okay. So yes, I believe I was somewhere like this. So I've done 1, 2, that tiny section, 3, 4, and 5 in the week. But I did have a bit of leeway because it's a 61-day event, and I think I've got 57 sections, so I've got a 4-day leeway. So I think I've just about used up my leeway. If I do 1 section a day from now on, I've actually already done my one for today, I think, that I needed to do. I will make it. So this is a bonus for today, starting this next section. But yeah, so I just need to do 1 a day from now on, and I can still make it. But it's a combination of lots of factors why I've found this so difficult. I've found some much more confetti heavy sections in this house than I was prepared for mentally. So it was a bit arduous getting through those sections. And obviously, as he's quite close in, it's quite abstract, and it isn't until you zoom out, take a step back once it's done, that you can actually see what you're doing sometimes. I mean, it's obvious some of these ready sections and pale and with the pale yellow ABs are going to be windows, etc. And you can just about get the structure of the windows in the house and the roof and everything. But when you're up this close, it's not quite having the impact like the Literate Dragon. Oh, I'm doing the globe. I'm doing a picture I'm doing a table, or I'm doing a bit of a dragon. So it's not the same sort of diamond painting experience. Having said that, I am loving the challenge, and after I had a few nights trying to be really fast as I can and timing myself and everything, I've learnt, as my friend Sarah says, you've got to enjoy it. otherwise, what's the point? This is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be an enjoyable experience. So I'm trying to, you know, fall in love with it again, and just not that I ever fell out of in love with it. I just found it a bit frustrating from time to time. So just trying to give you an idea of my thought process. And when you do these big paintings, what you go through sometimes. Um, but yeah, so I'm just on this next section here. So we've had some beautiful sections. We've had this peaked bit of roof and all these lovely windows, a finishing of that sort of tower, a bit of a tree there as well, just peeking behind the tree line. And then we've also got another tree down here. I don't think you can see that though, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's another tree off camera on the right. And just seeing where you can see up to some of that here. Yeah, so there's a bit of an outdoor trellis that you might be able to see the start of there. And then like a balcony sort of thing, and some more goodly grand windows, some really good use of perspective with these narrowed windows, and then that tiny narrowed reef there. And then we've got a gorgeous full reef on this front of this bay window. Yeah, so it's absolutely stunning. Still very much loving it, but very much prepared for confetti. But it's not too bad. There are some blocks of colour in this one. I'm not going to count the colours because there is a lot in each section, So I'm looking forward to my Lunia 3D boxes coming tomorrow, hopefully. I was hoping they were going to come yesterday, but they didn't. It's a bit mean of them. They said they were on the way. So I thought, oh, they're going to come on Saturday, but then it was downgraded to we've got it again. So this is every, so it's a little bit unpredictable, the shipping. But I'll hopefully get them tomorrow, But very much still enjoying that system. And I think if I can get loads of other colours kitted up like that, if I've just got a few other colour, that would just make life so much easier. So just turning on my light board now. Yeah, and then I'm just going to zoom... Oh, actually, no, before I do that, I'll just give you a quick update on my sewing project. So, those of you that are on my Facebook page will know. If not, just feel free to join my Facebook page. I'll try and put a link up at the end or over the screen now. But it's this sort of little mat thing... which I'm using to protect my canvas and for all my drill trays to go on. So, like that, so I just, I find that nice. So then I'm designing these so there can be non-slip, although you can move them to different parts of the canvas as you work on different areas. And to have some magnets underneath as well, which you can have another magnet under the canvas just to secure it a little bit more. And I think that way you might be able to just have it slightly at a slant. So you've got, you see, because the drill trays do kind of stay. Yeah, so, because I've got some piping around the edge, but this is a mock-up of one. But I've started my design for a few of them. So these are the fabrics. So I've got a lovely space fabric there, which I'm going to do with this blue background. And then I've got a lovely kitten fabric there. And I'm going to do that with this gold fabric. Yeah. There's a backing, sorry. And then I've got this really cool, I love this fabric. It's got little tiny castles with rainbows and clouds. I just love cute little designs like that. And that's going to have the blue background, sorry, the blue backing again. And they'll all have a binding contrasts. I think I'm going to have a red for the space and a green for the, like an emeraldy green for the cats, and I think possibly a red again for the castles. So stay tuned for that. Me and Sarah had a day sewing and procrastinating. So we just a second, sorry. We had a bit of the play with some embroidery, well, some free motion embroidery, which she enjoyed a lot more than I did. This is me. Some of these are actually sewing machine stitches, so they're not all me. But I think that's the wrong side, actually. Depends. Yeah, so I had a little go, but I find the unpredictability of it a bit much to me. Some of you might not be surprised by that because I like my things to be in order and I like to be able to produce the same results uniformly without stressing out. If I make a wrong move, it could wreck the whole thing. And this is Sarah's little play, so yeah, she loves the chaos of it. And I know some people will probably like the chaos of producing something like this, but yeah, but we had fun. Like I said, we procrastinated a bit, but we're planning another couple of days this week. And like I said, a lot of the designs that we're going to come out with are going to be limited to begin with, because we're going to start small, but eventually we want to aim towards using some fabrics from a company called Spoonflower. And that's where you have designers on it that design their own designs and then they get printed to the fabric of your choice to demand. So the idea of that is businesses can use the fabric with no problem with the licensing. So it just means it gives us a bit of a wider amount of fabric to use. But we're really, really looking forward to working with that because they have some stunning designs on Spoonflower, So I'm hoping this goes the right direction so we get an opportunity to do that. Okay. Okay, so a quick rundown of what I'm using. I'm using one of the Diamond Art Club pens. I really love this pen. I love the weight of it and the size of it, and I'm actually finding it quite difficult to find a custom pen which I like as much as this. So I've asked a friend to order one of the other ones of the other designs. This has Diamond Art Club's Forever single placer on one end, and it has one of their new 8 placers on the other. Only reason I'm not using a bigger placer on the end is I just find the 8 at the moment is quite adaptable because it's a lot of confetti, so there's a lot of sections of quite a few colours in a row in some cases, but not in others. And the bigger you use, obviously, the harder it is to use it for smaller. So I thought that's a good balance. I was using a 6 before, but I am getting some longer runs of colour, so to use that. And I've got Cat's Putty in both ends, and it is her pumpkin pecan waffle still at the moment. I absolutely love that flavour. It is so divine smell. Yes, it's lovely. It smells like lovely sweet things. Yeah, so I'm using the Lunia 3D white tray with the little boxes for some of my colours. And I'm using some of the Add More Zest trays. I think it's their Zesty and their Add More Zest tray. Okay, and like I've said before, these are the limited edition, September edition trays. I don't know how long they'll sell these, whether they stop selling them after September. I think it says the Advent, so maybe they're selling them for a bit longer. Okay, and of course I've got my homemade tray, which I made with Sarah. This is a resin tray with lots of glitter and sparkly bits in, and my old style Diamond Art Club tweezers with the squishy on to stop it going out too much, and a little Add More Zest trash tray in the limited edition as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna get the colour out and we shall get going. Okay, let's get some E's out. Trying to decide where to put this. Right, so I'm just thinking what's happened over the last week. I have had a bad week. Let's put it that way. This is one part of the reason why I've not got as far as I wanted to. I got back from looking after my nephew, which was fine, and I did my whip and chat and everything, but I've just been a bit slow off the mark, I guess, to get anywhere with stuff. I'm just going to get these sheets. Yeah, so I've... Oh, sorry, I just realised I forgot to zoom the camera. Just zoom the camera in. Yeah, so I got back from my sister's and I did my whip and chat last week, as you know. And I was just I that day I didn't get as much done as I wanted to because we have our murder mystery nights on Sunday night. So I wanted to spend time with my husband, So I kind of guess I started off the week not really making as much progress as I wanted to, So excuse me. Yeah, so it is a bit more difficult, to get going. I think, and then I had these ideas, for these little sewing things, and then I was getting myself a bit worked up and stressed out about fitting that all in and whether I should go all in or take it slow. And it's just all things I find quite tricky, to manage in my head. I want, like, when I have an idea, I always, my ADHD brain always thinks, oh, yes, I could develop that into this and I could sell that and I could make lots of money and then I could quit my job and I could have the perfect life and everything, but obviously I know myself how ridiculous that is, but everyone has to dream, don't they? So, and I have people around me that can ground me and make me realise, that actually I need to be sensible. And I do want to be sensible because I have lost my love for crafts in the past when I have tried to turn them into total commercial enterprises. So I want to keep the love, for the things that I do. And yeah, so I've reined it in a little bit, and me and my friend Sarah, we're having an amazing time actually, doing all this designing and prototyping and spending time together again, doing something very different to what we were spending time doing before because we were doing a lot of editing previously for my novel, which I've put on hold for now. So yeah, so as that is an example, I have these really, really impassioned ideas, and I struggle sometimes to not to come up with. Oh, sorry, to focus on that idea, um, because I've gone all in on it, and it's like, oh, and I kind of burn out, I guess, in the end, So I don't want to do that with this. So I do want to be sensible and try and, give it my all as much as I can, but still enjoy it. Enjoy the process and enjoy that feeling, of when I've made something that someone else, wants, so and made somebody else happy and somebody actually wanted to like something I've done so much that they paid for it from me. So I want all those things, but yeah, but I don't want to burn out doing it, So I think I was thinking about all these things when I was going to sleep on Sunday night, and it paralysed me almost. And Monday morning, I usually clean the bathrooms and everything to start the week off, and I just couldn't. I struggled to get out of bed and get myself motivated that week. So they didn't get done this week. I'm sorry to say, but I'm in a lot better place today, and I think I'll start the week next week in a very good place. Um, to start all of that again. So I'm very happy that that the place I've reached now. But yeah, so before I talk about the counselling, not that there's a lot to talk about, I should talk about the fact that something else happened. So, um, I think I mentioned it in my last WIP in chat actually, but I'd been contacted by one of the other district nurses who I work with, and who said to me that there was a colleague's 65th, and they were having a lunch for it, and did I want to come? And I said yes, I will come. And so it ended up I was meeting up with a friend from work who was on a day off, and yeah, she didn't really want to go, but because it was her day off, but said she would go and take me and everything, and then I could leave whenever I wanted. So I thought, great, there's no pressure here. If it's really overwhelming, I can just turn up and leave again. But yeah, so she went with me. That was really good. But we met up at my house before to have a cuppa and a catch up, which was really nice. and then we went to the do afterwards. So yeah, I really um, it was actually it was okay. It was enjoyable to a certain extent. That's probably the wrong word though. But as soon as I set foot in the office, my hands were shaking and like a leaf. I couldn't believe I actually had that reaction, to be honest. But yeah, it was very overwhelming for me. It was just when it was really linked to when I was seeing people. When I saw several people I recognised. Um, and yeah, it was a very overwhelming, stressful experience. And of course, I ended up hugging almost everybody. Because yeah, but yeah, it was quite an emotional experience. So, and I only stayed for about half an hour or so. Literally to have a little bit something to eat. And yeah, it was that was enough for me. And I think we have our like handover, which is where we like talk to each other to pass information about the patients we've seen that day and any concerns and is everyone okay, and that's around just about 1:30. And I decided, yeah, that's my cue to leave when they were doing that, because they were talking about work, and I just at that point I really didn't want to be anything to really be reminding me of the job. I suppose I was and it's displayed to me I was not nearly ready to go back to work. And I decided really that I think it is stressing me out, and I need a more long term goal, because I'm struggling to go month at a time at the moment. So I've pretty much decided that I'm going to aim to go back in January, because this Christmas period is always really busy for me at home and preparing everything, and I always go all in, and I do really enjoy that, but I don't want to kind of ruin that for myself by going back too early and getting overwhelmed about work while I'm out overwhelmed at home and everything. So I've decided pretty much that I'm not going back till after Christmas, and I feel like that's selfish sometimes, but like someone said to me once, sometimes you have to be a bit selfish, if you want, if you want to be right, you've got to think about yourself sometimes, and only you, when it is your own mental health, So yeah, that's a really difficult choice, but I'm glad I've made it now. But that kind of ties into when I saw the counsellor, because I saw the counsellor on the same day as the lunch, so it was all in that day. And yeah, so oops. Yeah, so it was all in, and quite overwhelming. But yeah, so I went to the counsellor, and yeah, we talked about lots of current stuff. To be honest, it was quite a nice session, but there was lots of stuff we talked about. But when it came to like when I was going back to work, I was saying stuff like I feel like I'm being selfish, like I only want to stay off because I'll have Christmas off, and my counsellor says, "Do you really think that, Jonathan?" And I was like, "Well, no, I guess not really." But I said, as a nurse, it's always in the back of your mind that I want. We never get Christmas off, so to be able to have it off this year, obviously, that does make me feel like I'm being selfish, and that's the only reason I'm doing it, even though that's ridiculous, because I think I might need to get some more of these out. Actually, I might use my green tray. So it's quite a lot of long lines of colour. I'm just getting rid of all the trash drills, to make sure I'm not going to have any problems when I'm placing these. You don't always notice them all, so sometimes you have to ping them off once you place them, when you realise. It's just they tend to have a little tag on the side. There we go. That's mostly fine, I think. There we go. You inevitably get more, but yeah, so... Okay, so yeah, so... We're talking about Christmas, weren't we? That's weird, isn't it? I remembered what we were actually talking about. Yeah, so... Yeah, so I had that discussion, and the counsellor did feel like, yeah, take going back in January was the right decision. Having been off for Christmas, and giving myself like proper time, having that real proper goal of going back in January. I think, and I know I'm in a ridiculously privileged position, and to be able to do what I do and have the supports and the sick pay and everything, for my job. Um, but on the other hand, I've worked really hard for the last 5 years in this job, so it's and working through COVID almost broke me. So I did need to take this time, but yeah, I appreciate not everyone is in that situation, but yeah. So that was that. Yeah, so it was anxiety wise, it was a very bad week for me, really, and I didn't get as much done as I wanted to, with my diamond painting. But I had to realise, if I try and push myself too much, I'm not going to enjoy this, and that's not what it's for. It's not to be stressed out about and thinking, oh, I've got to get this done, got to get this done. I've got to, it has to be on my terms, not on its terms. So yeah, so I'm just trying to get that mindfulness back, and it is coming back. I'm enjoying it again. I just had a bit of the blip, and we all get them. So yeah, and I think I did have a low day one of the days this week, which was quite unusual for me, because since I've upped my antidepressants, I haven't had any like that, so it was yeah, it was difficult this week, but and also I've still got this chest infection. I had a really bad experience with one of the nurses. I can't remember if I said one or the other WIP in chat. She just didn't listen to me, basically. And it was such a stressful experience, and I've had a stressful experience with this nurse before. Really talking down to me, being she was actually quite aggressive with me. So I actually, this when she found out I was a nurse, so I actually just asked not to see her again, and I've never done that before, and I hate doing that, because I don't want to be labelled as a problem patient. But at the end of the day, if someone makes you feel that way, you know, you can't be feeling that way when you go into a consultation. They're meant to be helping you, not hindering you. So yeah, so I'm glad I said something. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to make a complaint, but I'm glad I actually made sure that I wasn't going to see her again. Yeah, so I've got an appointment with the GP on, I think it might be Thursday. It's a telephone consultation. I thought it was a face to face, but to be honest, it doesn't really need to be face to face. But I've still got this chest infection symptoms, even though I feel fine. But it's been going on like well over a month now, so I do need to do something about it. Excuse my hair. If I, yeah. Yeah, just another one. Yeah, so, but yeah, just getting a bit sick and tired of it. I do suffer. Oopsie. I do suffer from chest infections quite a lot. So I really want them to get to the bottom of it, to be honest. I've tried in the past and had lots of things happen and everything, but I've never been referred to a respiratory team, so I think I'm gonna just keep persevering this one. Hopefully the GP will be more willing. I had more luck with the GPs, to be honest, than the nurses, because nurses seem to be obsessed with calling a lot of things viral infections in this country. I don't know what it's like in America, over the pond in America. But yeah, so even when I feel I have had clear bacterial symptoms, they seem to be obsessed with calling things viral, but yeah, so it's always a bit of a difficult one though, because I'm quite healthy otherwise, and I always present as healthy, You know, it's very rare that a chest infection will actually make me quite sick or ill, but obviously I still have it, you know, so and I don't, obviously if I left it for too long, I guess it could turn into something really, really nasty, you know, and I could possibly get sepsis, I guess, you know, but my normal presenting symptoms aren't, there isn't any really, you know, apart from me coughing up awful stuff, you know, so, which doctors and nurses don't tend to always um, view as a proper symptom, you know, so yeah, so I'm getting that sorted, so hopefully this doctor's phone call that I get will get me somewhere. I'm just thinking what else. But yeah, so that's been making me feel a little bit under the weather. But so if my voice is weird, that's why. But I mean, I've had this for like a month or so now, you know, so it's yeah, I'm getting used to it. But I shouldn't have to get used to it, you know. I should be able to get treated and be clear with it, you know, and stuff. But so I'm hopeful, you know. I'm seeing a doctor that is usually quite proactive with this sort of stuff. So hopefully, I will get somewhere. But so I'm just thinking, what else has happened this week? I think because of all the uncertainty with this week and my anxiety and everything, I did get a bit out of order with all my videos. But I've had actually quite a reasonably busy week with videos. I did my framing tutorial and I was very, very pleased with that. So if you haven't seen that already, I would definitely check it out. I'll try to remember to put a little card in the corner of the screen now to link to it. But that was my Literate Dragon project, and I was really pleased with that. And finally, have a diamond painting hanging on my wall is amazing. And sorry, I didn't actually mention how I actually physically hung it in the end in the video, because I was just hanging it from a nail with the with the string that came with it, but I didn't like the visibility of the string, so I decided to use some command strips, and they're like really, really strong Velcro that you can use to hang pictures, so that they are hanging without anything needing to be above them, you know. So I thought that was really, really cool, and yeah, so I was loving doing that. Excuse me, my head. Sorry, yet again, I've got the camera in a weird position where I'm struggling to place some of these drills further down. So I'm really going to have to think of better ways to angle the camera. Next time I might maybe angle it like I did for my TikTok and short video, maybe so that it's so it's just angled maybe this way. Sorry, I'm pointing, but you can't really see. But just a different way so that I can actually do it more freely, and yeah, just to make it a bit easier for me to place them without having to lean forward all the time, you know. So, or be able to lean forward and not just block the camera each time. But yeah, so I was thrilled to get Literate Dragon hanging finally, and yeah, like I said, it uses command strips, and I did link them in that video. So you know, if you do want to hang it in a similar way and not have that string, and it stayed up for 2 days now, so I think I'm just about the point where I'd be happy to cut that string off, and happy that the command strips are taking all that weight, you know. So yeah, and yeah, it's been lovely, and I'm actually trying to decide what colour one to order for my Home is Where the Magic Is. So I'm just in discussion with my husband about that, because we had this argument about whether it should match the painting or match the room. And my husband always thinks the room, and my friend Sarah always thinks match the painting. And so and we went in the middle and we ordered a pine one, even though Alan wanted a white one when we were for this one. So yeah, and just yeah, so I'm just kind of in limbo with that one at the moment. I'm going to wait for Sarah to come round on hopefully Tuesday, and when we do some more sewing and prototyping and everything, and hopefully then we will have a better idea of what we're doing. Because she can talk to Alan and I get both of their opinions and then we make a decision about it. But at the moment we're erring towards grey, or I wanted an oak frame because I thought oak would match the colours, but it's going in the hallway, and of course the hallway has a grey and cream theme, and white banisters and everything, so of course my husband would rather have white or grey. So yeah, so I'm just like kind of traversing in the middle, so not quite sure what I'm going to do yet. So yeah, so I just move this along a bit. Just going to do these Ys before I put these away. Kat did teach me in one of her whipping chat that just released from Kat's Diamond Painting, the lady that makes this putty, that you can, if you're worried about it, you can just shove it all into the middle of a square and just stick the drill on top of it. So I mean it's common sense, but that is more applicable when you do rounds, because obviously you don't want putty sticking in the wrong place on rounds because it's going to be visible. Okay. Oh, and there's one more there. It's just because I prefer having an excess of putty to less, because I just find that if you smooth it across the top, I find it just doesn't last as long for me, and I end up changing it more frequently. Oh, actually, I just remembered, I topped this up, so I will need to put the excess in my other pot. Right, so that's my excess. Yeah, so I'm working with 2 pots for each colour that has more than a few drills. Yeah, and then we had our Dragon Brigade video, which was very enjoyable to film with Sarah, and I love filming with Sarah, and we have a good time, and I tend to lose a few subscribers. I don't know whether our happy-go-lucky, attitude, is frowned upon by certain people. I'm not sure, but, but frankly, I hope my channel isn't going to be all serious and sensible all the time. I do try and bring a bit of humour and a bit of whimsy into it. This is me after all, that's doing this channel, and I will try and crack a bad joke sometimes or say things in a weird way, but that's just who I am. I'm not going to hide who I am because of my channel. So I've lost a few recently, but maybe as I'm finding myself more and people don't like who that person is, maybe, I don't know, but then I'm gaining more people than I'm losing, so I know I'm doing the right thing, just being me. I'm not going to hide who I am, and that's the whole point of this channel, really, is, to talk about me as I am, my struggles, everything, really. But yeah, but I loved doing Dragon Brigade and opening that, and I'm looking forward to working on it next year. Don't know when it will be yet, but yeah, stay posted for that. Okay, so guess it's movie time. So this week's movie was a newish movie that came out in theatres a little while ago called The Haunted Mansion. Now, it flopped a bit when it came into the theatres. It's a Disney film based on the Haunted Mansion ride in the Disney parks. Now, there are several different variations of the Haunted Mansion in existence, but this one was kind of had an all. It's more like the Florida one, which has a bit of a New Orleans sort of feel, and actually it's set in New Orleans. But yeah, so it's I've watched a version before with Eddie Murphy, but and there was also a Muppet special of it as well. But I must admit, I've kind of forgotten. They didn't have much of an impact on me because I can't actually remember. They weren't very memorable to me. I think the Muppets one was okay, but again, I didn't remember it. So yeah, but this one was really really cool. You know, it had a few famous names in it. It had lots of nods to the ride. So if you've been on the Haunted Mansion ride and you enjoyed it, gonna get a lot of cool Easter eggs in this film. So it is really really cool. And I loved all the little things it put in, little nods to the ride and everything. But of course, there was more to it than that. There was a really, really involved plot about the ghosts in the haunted mansion and how they existed and why and everything, So, yeah, it. I mean, the special effects are incredible. I mean, I've been told that maybe the production isn't quite as like big as it didn't really warrant a theatrical release, like it could have been released straight to Disney Plus, and I do agree with that. But it's no less enjoyable a film for that reason. I mean, one complaint, someone that I watched reviewing it was that it deals with death, and it is quite a sorrowful dealing with it. It doesn't shy away from these hard questions. So I'd maybe be a bit. Oh, I've just realised. Sorry, ooh, sugar lumps. I've just realised I've been placing the wrong. Have I been placing the wrong colour? Yes, I have. Oh, you idiot, Jonathan. I'm just going to quickly pull all these while I'm talking to you. Yeah, so. Yeah, how stupid can you get? Don't know why I did that. Did I? They are the same. Yeah, it is the same, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, so it was a very enjoyable film. Yeah, but like I said, it does deal with some hard issues about loss and grief and death. So what's on the other side? um, so yeah. So maybe for older teenagers, but not younger ones, I would suggest. But yeah. So it had some quite cool actors I know in it. Anyway, Owen Wilson was in it, and Danny DeVito was in it, and there was a guest appearance by Jamie Lee Curtis, sorry, who I think the only thing I've ever seen her in before is the original Friday the 13th movie, and I guess she didn't really deliver 100%, but yeah, but she did an okay performance, but it wasn't like spectacular or anything. But I think the movie as a whole was just very, very enjoyable. Had lots of little nods to that original ride. Was had a good plot, had a good villain, and he was really well grounded actually, and had a really good backstory. In fact, a lot of the characters and the ghosts had really good backstories as well. So it was yeah, really well done. I mean, it's quite a long film. It's about 2 hours and 5 minutes, I think. So obviously it's not something. If you just want a quick movie, it's a bit longer than that. This is a proper Saturday night movie, really. But it's a really good one to watch coming up for Halloween because it's a little bit of a scary theme and everything. I mean, the external shots, like of New Orleans and everything, aren't that amazing. And once you get inside the haunted mansion, that is much more spectacular. But I think they built all those sets on sound stages, so yeah, so that's why it's just a bit different. So yeah, but very enjoyable film, really. And I've not talked about it in depth because I don't really want to spoil it. I think you should just go and see this one. Really, it's I would highly recommend it. Not the best movie in the world, and I know some of the critics have slated it, but I have this opinion really that sometimes critics just don't want you to like things sometimes. So sometimes just go and see things. If you think you might like it, just go and see it. Don't listen to anyone else, and you will usually be pleasantly surprised. But yeah, so Oh, wait. Yes, I have got that wrong. Oh, do you know my head is in a weird place today? Oh dear, sorry. Yeah, so yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. Yeah, the leading man, Lakeith Stanfield, was really, really good, and I'd not really seen him in anything before, but he really carried his role well throughout the film, so yeah, very enjoyable, and I'd definitely recommend it. It's been a bit of a slow week, so I'm not sure whether I've got many other things to tell you about at the moment. Other than that, I'm just going to continue plodding on with this. I will update you when I've got further with my sewing designs. I'm continuing to watch Buffy, although I like to watch the original episodes of Buffy. But unfortunately, my DVDs, I've finally given up the ghost, I think, and got all these scratches on, and I just can't watch the episodes properly. So I've just ordered them all again from CEX. That's like a pre-owned DVD store in the UK, and hopefully I'll be able to watch them all then. I just got to What's My Line Part 1, which is one of my favourite ever episodes in Season 2. Um, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting back into it, and I'm actually really looking forward to, if you're a Buffy fan, there's a new Audible series on Amazon Audible, so it's just like a talking series like on the radio. It's called Slayer, and that has several of the original Buffy cast. Not Sarah Michelle Gellar, but I think it's got Juliet Lando as Drusilla, James Marsters as Spike, Amber Benson as as Tara, Anthony Head as Giles. Who else is in it? There's a newcomer. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. They're playing a new Slayer. And off. I'm just trying to think if Emma Caulfield might be in it. I think alternate realities are involved because obviously some of these characters are dead in the real Buffyverse. But yes, but they all got together to do this Audible series. And I'm so excited for that. It's coming out on the 12th, I think, which I think is, what day are we now? 8, 9, 10. I think that's Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. So yeah, so I would highly recommend, if you love Buffy, to pre-order that, because this is the first Buffy-like thing we've had since it's finished, really. Because they never really continued or did any more spin-offs after Angel completed the year after. So I'm absolutely so excited to see what that's all about. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching that, listening to that on Thursday. And I will continue watching Buffy while I diamond paint. I'm sorry if this has been a bit of a weird one. I've tried to talk. Obviously, it's every week, at the moment, and I won't be doing these weekly whipping chats once this event is completed, but I've set myself that target, so I will continue them while the whipping chat is going. Sorry, while the Familon is going. But after that, I'll probably do them less frequently, maybe once or twice a month. I'm not going to stop them because I know people do like them. But yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to next week. I'm just thinking what I'm actually going to be doing. Obviously, I'll be doing this video later in the week. I'm just thinking unboxing wise. Yeah, so coming up, my Halloween kits are probably going to be coming in the next couple of days. So I will try and do my Halloween special earlier in the week. Although this one will be releasing on Monday evening, I think. I filmed it on Sunday today, but I'm trying to be a bit more chilled out. Not rush myself in finishing the edit straight away. So I'll probably bring this one out Monday night. So I will probably get my Halloween one out for Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, so yes, and that will be a unboxing of both the Randal Spangler Trick or Treat Haunted House and the Haunted House by Donna Gelsinger. So just stay tuned for that. Okay. So it's been lovely chatting again. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd really, really appreciate it if you could give the thumbs up on the video. And if you're not already, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. And if you'd like to be notified of my videos as soon as they're up, just click on the bell icon and click all to get all the notifications. and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.